Welcome, thank you, our viewers. I can't believe this is the 7th episode of the Property Investors Network. We are already on number 7. So it seems we are moving very fast. Welcome to you all to the Property Investors Network, a show where we discuss and learn about property investing in Africa in about 10 minutes. This is your host today, Taka. I'll be hosting you, and our topic for today is stop playing the blaming game. Stop playing the blame game. Thank you so much for watching, and I've picked up that there's a number of people who are viewing these videos on YouTube. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. I appreciate the enthusiasm that you're showing, that you are enjoying these shows, and thank you so much for sharing and subscribing. I mean, I see the number of subscribers is increasing almost on a daily basis. So thank you so much for watching, and I believe these shows are helping you as you learn about property and investing in property. Before we talk about the blame game, I just want to give you a thought, something to think about. It's about property as an inheritance. I believe some of you, or most of you, are buying a house for you to own. But now, if you look at it closely, why didn't you inherit your parents' house? Why didn't you inherit your forefathers' houses? It's just a thought. And why actually are you not in control of their properties? If you are buying a house for yourself, does it mean you are the first person in your whole generation or family history? You're the first person to own a house. What happened to your father's houses, mother's houses, your forefathers' houses? What happened to them? Why didn't you inherit them? Something that we should think about. Perhaps those houses are still there, but you don't own them. What happened? Some of you may say, no, Taka, the houses are no longer there, but the ground on which those houses were built is still there. What happened? Your forefathers, they worked so much hard, day after day, laboring, buying assets. And some of your fathers, or they work for 40 years working, accumulating assets, perhaps buying property. But what happened to those properties? Think about it. There are so many people out there from your father's side, from your mother's side, they had properties. What happened to those properties? Now, when you're thinking about that, I'm going to give you another comparison. If you go to developed countries, if you go to UK, even in USA, you find there are buildings, even here in Africa, you'll find that there are buildings that are 100 years old or even more. And the owners, they've passed down those houses, those buildings, to their children, their children's children. But what happened to you? Does it mean that in your whole family history, no one ever owned a house? Something to think about. Perhaps our fathers and mothers, they made some mistakes. That's why today you are back again to buy the property again. And it has to stop with you. We can't continue this thing of every generation has to go out, buy property, and then when they die, things just disappear, and the next generation come in, they buy properties, and it ends with them. I believe we are the generation that can stop this cycle so that our properties can go to the next generation. This is something to think about. Perhaps there are things we should change the way we do property. In this show, these are the things that we are going to discuss. How we can pass our assets, our properties to the next generation flawlessly, without problems, without any hiccups. But one of the things that we need to stop doing is to stop the blaming game. Viewers, I'm going to read from some notes that I have here so that it can help us. Perhaps you've noticed people everywhere, they have been blaming everything on someone about what's wrong in their lives. Perhaps you are one of them. You point out to your wife, I'm in this position because of my wife, because of my husband. Some of you, perhaps you are blaming your employer. It's because of this company, that's why I'm here. You're blaming perhaps the government. The government is not taking care of us. The government is not doing ABC. You're blaming maybe the community. You're blaming the economy for your situation. You're blaming the ruling party. You know, the ruling parties, they are always blamed for everything. It's their fault. That's why this country, that's why my life is in a mess. And the opposition, perhaps you're blaming the opposition parties. Who are you blaming? Someone is at fault. That's why I'm not progressing. Perhaps this is what you are thinking. 1 year from now, those people will still be blaming. 2 years from now, 5 years from now, they'll still be blaming someone except themselves. They spend their time, their energy, talking, blaming. You know, if things were not like this one is because of this, that's why things are... They sit in groups criticizing politicians, public figures, spending hours and hours of their time pointing how bad things are and how people have made things worse. The only person who they don't blame is themselves. I can tell you, I've met people who can talk about politicians. They can criticize them. They know where he went to school. They know where he grew up. They know his friend. They know his businesses. But there's one thing those people normally don't want to talk about. What brings food on their table. The things that make them move forward. They talk about everyone else except the core issues that improves their life. Instead of spending this time discussing politics and all these problems, why don't you use that time to discuss and talk about things that improve you? How about spending that time reading a book that improves yourself? How about taking a course? Perhaps, you know, if you cannot find something to do that is productive, perhaps spend that time with your family, your wife, your spouse. I think it will be a better investment than doing this blaming game. People who always find someone to blame or something to blame for their failures end up on the losing side. I'm going to repeat this one. People who always find someone or something to blame for their failures will always find themselves on the loser's side. Be responsible. Take action. Take charge. Take ownership of your life. And you become a winner. You cannot move forward by blaming someone. You cannot move forward by blaming the economy, blaming this person. You can move your life forward by taking charge, by taking action, by doing the things that improve your life. The blame game is a loser's game. I will repeat this again. The blame game is a loser's game. Don't get into it. Now, which game are you playing? Are you blaming your parents for the condition of your life? My parents didn't do this. My parents were like this. And if you go to your parents, they also tell, our parents were like this. Our parents were like... So everyone is looking for someone to blame. That's why it is said accusation, blaming, and complaining are the ABC of losers. So don't be a loser. Be a winner. Choose not to blame. Make a bold step today and take charge of your life. Be a solution-oriented person. Create a plan to make things around you better. Drive out negativity and all those negative things and so forth. Drive them out. Focus on your dream. What is your dream? You see, because in life, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a goal, anything is acceptable. If you don't have a plan or a goal, you definitely end on someone's plan. You know, you're going to work someone's plan. And there are people out there with big dreams, big plans, who are looking for people who have no plans, no goals, and they take those people, put them in their plans, and you fulfill someone's dream. What is your dream? What is your aspiration? What do you want? What are your goals? Today, take action. Do something that makes your life move forward. Start progressing, one step at a time. Otherwise, you'll find yourself playing the blaming game. Now, what are you going to do? A few things you can do today, perhaps, is to do with your education. There's formal education, there is informal education. Perhaps you've got to focus on that. Perhaps it's the social circles. You've got these friends that are negative, that influence you the wrong way, and every time you hang out with them, you just socializing with them. Perhaps it's time to drive out all these negative circles, negative friendship, negative places that you go. Perhaps this is the time, because if you are going to be a successful property investor, you need to have the right mindset. Perhaps this is to do with your personal habits that need to change. You've got destructive habits, habits that takes your energy, take things from you, and make you not productive. Those habits, perhaps instead of blaming politicians, blaming everyone, perhaps focus on changing your habits, stopping bad habits, and on the same time taking on new good habits that move you forward. Thank you so much for watching. For today, we'll end here, and we will continue again next time, talking about some habits you can adopt so that you change your life, you become a better property investor. Again, subscribe to the channel so that you keep on receiving these videos. Also, you're welcome to comment or contact me. Otherwise, see you next day. Have a great day. Thank you.